separation I'm not after. This feels like okay, now I'm just like wearing a mask, like a PO mask.
Yeah, right.
Whereas it felt like the task wasn't that.
Preaching. And here Augustine went to hear him because he heard his rhetoric was impressive. I'm going to hear this guy. He's a great, user of the Latin language. But as he listened to him, he's also preaching the spiritual life, right? And so Augustine, and tears had a lot to do with it. Augustine was like a hyper intellectual, but man, there's like tears on every page of the Confessions.
Yeah.
And he starts weeping as he listens to Ambrose,
Yeah.
So that's a story from so many centuries ago, but it's your story in many ways.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I'm experiencing a lot of that also. But also, the weird thing is like separating. What if this is actually happening to me for me, and what if this is like PO and this film and preparation and the separation? I'm before this movie, I'm chasing no separation, but here it felt even further. And there was a certain point where Abel's like asking me to do an accent.
Because you didn't do an accent.
No.
You just spoke in your American.
Yeah, because at a certain point, like I prayed on it, and I thought, this is the separation I'm not after. This feels like okay, now I'm just like wearing a mask, like a PO mask.
Yeah, right.
Whereas it felt like the task wasn't that. The task, even beyond what the director was asking of me, and he found a way to find the same kind of, he found my reasoning just, was that I was having like genuine, while we were practicing Latin Mass, I was having genuine emotional experiences. And aside from the fact that, as a Neapolitan speaker, his accent wouldn't have matched Italian anyway. But it felt like I that would have taken me out of this thing that felt very personal. And so we didn't do an accent because I felt like what was happening to me was like some kind of vessel. I'm not going to get too cheesy about it, but it felt like I wasn't in control of a lot of the stuff that was happening. There wasn't a whole lot of like emotional actor prep. It was like very prayerful. When I felt like I couldn't hit a moment, me and Alex we would pray, and then it would come. Like the emotion would just come. Pio was a very emotional guy.
Yeah.
And Mass is very technical. It's so technical. And so it's very difficult. You have to be very proficient at Latin Mass, one. So I spent most of my time not even studying Pio. I would just study Latin Mass. So I went up to Oakland. I lived in Oakland and just at the seminary in Burlingame and then in Oakland. And I'm just going to Latin Mass all the time. And then after Latin Mass, I'm studying with the priests from the Christ the King, which is traditionalist Latin Mass, and I'm studying with them, but there's no emotionality with them. They're very like